ChessUp board, I'm gonna use a setting I haven't gotten to use yet. I'm gonna play online live with the chess.com integration. I'm already logged in here, so you can see I can decide what time control I want to play here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play with a little bit more time. I'm gonna play with 15 plus 10 seconds per move, and I'm gonna get matched against a random player on chess.com. This board, if you like it, you can purchase it from the link in my description where you get a 10% discount. So for now, let's see if we can match with another player. Play. So right now it's searching for other players. Oh, and we have started, and it looks like I will have the black pieces. No, I will have the white pieces actually, so you can see it from my perspective. And I'm gonna start with the move d2 to d4. Maybe we can get to play a London. And I see my opponent. He responds with d7 to d5. Very well, now we can continue with our London setup. So this bishop, we want to develop it to the square f4. And black responds in a very natural way by putting this knight on f6. Great. Now we have a few moves we can choose from. We could push this pawn one square up to e3. We could also develop this knight. And of course, we develop this knight so that it's pointing towards the center of the board. Okay. e7 to e6. Opening up this bishop. But maybe this bishop will get a little bit sad. Okay, so I want to finish my London structure. And if you don't know about the London opening, you can go to ASMR Chess YouTube channel. We have a video where I show him how to play the London. What we do here is that we make a pyramid of pawns on the dark squares. And we can see black is kind of doing the opposite here, making a pyramid on the light squares. I will continue building my pyramid like this. And then my plan is to get this bishop to e3 and this other knight to d2. Okay, black plays their bishop on d6, kind of challenging my London bishop. So I have a few options now. I could of course capture on d6, and they would capture back with their queen. I could also move my bishop back to g3, and then if they capture, I could capture with the h-pawn. Or I could just leave it be and be ready to capture with the e-pawn in case they take. But I kinda like the option of opening the h-file for my rook. So I'm gonna play this and try to challenge them to capture. They don't have to, of course. They could play something else. Okay. They go here with the knight, I think. That looks like a solid move. Attacking my bishop once more. Of course, if they capture, I could still just capture back with the h-pawn opening for the rook. So I don't think I should worry too much about that. And I think I will just keep developing my pieces, starting with this bishop, which I will put on d3. Maybe even threatening to take the knight on e4. So we tension, meaning that there are several options for capturing. These bishops are eyeing each other. The knight is eyeing this bishop is eyeing this knight. And so far, none of us have taken anything. All pieces are still on the board. And then of course the two extra queens here. I really hope to be able to get another queen at one point. Oh, the black queen. No, I'm white, sorry, the white queen. I'm just seeing it from black's perspective. Oh, that's a little bit of an interesting move. f7 to f5. We should look at this move. It is really supporting this knight on e4, which we could call a Pillsbury knight. A knight in the center controlled by two pawns. But f5 is also a little bit of a weakening move for the king. We can see that this diagonal gets opened. I don't have a way to take advantage of this immediately though. Even if my queen could go here, black would probably just block the check. I'm considering developing this knight to d2. I'm also thinking about castling, because then if black were to capture here, I could take with the f-pawn instead, opening the f-file. But I'm out of theory here. I don't know this position. So I will just focus on development. So I'll get my other knight into action like this. See what black has in mind. I'm just adding to the tension now. Even more pieces are threatening each other. And I must say I kind of like the way black has played so far. They play very active and they really, took a lot of space. Now they're grabbing the bishop here by taking my bishop on g3. And now because I haven't castled yet, I am thinking about taking with the h-pawn. Because that's the first option, would be to take like this to open for the rook. So I've looked at it and I feel like taking with the h-pawn is the most interesting way to play. It kind of makes it not so attractive for me to castle kingside, but I can of course castle queenside if I really want to castle. My opponent now develops their knight, also blocking the bishop a little bit. This is definitely their good bishop. This is their bad bishop. I actually have an idea, but I kinda doubt it's working. Maybe it is, let me just think. I could, of course, try to move my queen to c2 or to e2 to prepare castling queenside. But I could also try to play it a little bit more aggressively. And the move that I'm looking at is actually knight h4. I'm gonna play this move. This move opens up for my queen to go to h5. And if I got that move in, I don't think g6 would be very good anymore. But they, of course, protect it with the knight instead, like this. Okay, now my queen move doesn't work anymore. Queen h5, they can just capture it. But I do have the option of going knight g8. Knight g8 is attacking the rook as my rook on h1 then would take on h8. So it's a little bit of a provocative move. The rook would then have to go here, and then they would probably threaten to capture my knight. So, oh, but then maybe I could jump here. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna go for this. It's very tricky. Things got complicated. I suspect that my opponent will think, maybe not so long on this move. I think they will play rook g8. But I think then after my next move, they will maybe think for a little while. Yeah, rook g8, I think it's the only move that's not losing the rook. Now, I cannot really capture an h7 because it's protected by the knight. Unless, of course, I could be super cool and still do it. So I could play rook captures h7, knight captures h7, then queen h5 threatening a discovered check. But I'm afraid the knight would just go back and attack my queen. So I'm gonna play the move that I had in mind instead. I'm gonna put my knight here on e5. And the reason for this move is, okay, I was kind of hoping they would capture, because if they would capture, I would take back and attack this knight, so I would be able to take on h7. But they just developed their queen instead, and I think that's a nice move. Yeah, I'm gonna add extra support, I guess, to my knight. Unless, of course, then they want to... No, let's do this. I also am a little bit low on time. My opponent has spent very, very little time. They're playing very fast. Now here, and I suspect that they're getting ready to castle queenside. So I could try to do the same. Or I could even try to harass them a little bit by going here with my queen. Or maybe I could wait until they have castled. I have so many options, but I'm not sure which is the best move. What happens if I take this pawn here? If I take the pawn down here? Oh wait, is that not interesting? If I take the pawn and they take back and I give the check, I think I at least stop them from castling, and I should win at least a knight and a pawn of the rook. You know, it's too interesting to not play, and I am a little bit low on time, so I have to complicate things at least a little bit. So let's see if my opponent dares to take my rook. I do think it's the best move. Otherwise, I just gained a pawn. But maybe they have other options. Maybe they can take the knight on e5, or maybe they can just castle and then threaten to take the rook next move. I do think the most interesting move, of course, would be if they capture my rook. So I am kind of hoping he will accept my sacrifice. Oh, he wouldn't. He didn't dare to take the rook and allow this check to happen. So he castles queenside instead, and now he is threatening my rook because I'm not ready to give any checks once he does that. He or she does that. So I should probably move my rook then. Question is if I should go all the way back or if I should find another square to put it. I think I'm gonna go all the way back. Like this. And then this knight could maybe go here if he will allow it. it makes a lot of sense. I think it's actually a very good move. Notice I do not have a fork down here because black will capture here with a check. And I think I have to capture here first. And I suspect they will take back, otherwise I would be very confused. Yes, of course they capture back. Now I could play this move, and they would give the check, and I could play something in between. But maybe it makes more sense for me to try to develop a little bit. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna play this move to get ready to castle queenside and also attack the pawn on a7. I still think rook h1 is going to play black's response, but then at least I can block with the knight or the bishop and then try to castle next move. And if we look at the pieces we have captured, I am currently up a pawn, so trading is not the worst thing that could happen to me. I just need to play a little bit quicker, then I should be okay. And I also see that of course c5 would attack my queen, but I think then I would be able to take on a7 or even take with the knight on d7. So it gives this check. And I should figure out if I should put my knight or my bishop in between, and I feel like the knight isn't so good anyway, so I'm gonna block with the knight. Then I'm gonna castle queenside next move. Maybe I'm even gonna take down here on a7. But maybe I think there's a good chance black is going to play king b8 to stop that, and then I'm gonna castle queenside. This is a very intense battle so far. And black is taking a little bit of time to figure out what they should move. I mean, I still think king b8 is the most logical. Maybe they're looking at stuff like b5 to attack the queen, but that would weaken the king a little bit. Also, you should notice how if you look at my pawns, almost all of my pawns are on dark squares, and most of black's pawn are on light squares. This means that black has very good control over the light squares because the pawns are attacking all the light squares, whereas my pawns, they are controlling the dark squares because they are threatening those. And I think this is the longest thing my opponent has taken since we started playing. Of course, he still has twice as much time as I do, so black should be in no trouble time-wise. And I want to say that if they take this knight, I don't think I'll be sad about that, because this is still there. I don't even know if you can call it a good bishop, but it's better than this one. Okay, they are playing c5. That is surprising to me. I didn't think they would do that. Okay, so I have two moves that I'm considering. One of them would be taking the bishop. I do think that's the best one of them, but I'm not sure. And the other move would be to take here an a7. If I take here and they move a pawn, I could give a check and exchange queens. I think that is something I'm interested in doing. Oh yeah. And I'm on 4 minutes and 46 seconds. And black is just 10.5 minutes. So they have plenty of time to think about a move now. But queen a8 is coming. Unless, of course, and if they play queen b8, I will gladly exchange queens, followed by castling. Okay. c4, attacking my bishop. Makes sense, but I'm gonna take the queen straight now. I'm gonna go here. They only have one legal move to put their queen in between. Then I'm gonna capture that queen. And they will capture back with either the king or the bishop. And they take with the bishop. Now I could take this bishop, but as I mentioned before, I do think it's their bad bishop. Also, my bishop is of course under attack, so I should probably save that instead. And I want to have it still defending my knight. So I'm gonna go here. This is of course a beautiful knight in the center of the game, but it does allow me to castle, and that's what I'm gonna do. Better late than never. And I have 2 extra pawns in this position, so from now on I'm gonna focus mainly on trading pieces, so I can reach a good endgame. A move that I would really love to play, I think, is knight d2. Let's see if I can trade the rooks. Knight d2. But of course that would leave the g3 pawn vulnerable. Okay, they're really going for it here, b5. Maybe they want to play b4. And I should figure out what to do about this. Is really their best piece. So I think I could try to trade it. And if I move my knight, I'm a little bit afraid this pawn would fall. So I'm gonna try to challenge it with my bishop instead. Seeing if I can trade off their best piece. And now if they go back with the knight, then I can play knight d2. Oh, that is a little bit of a... I don't know if it's a weird move, but it does allow me to capture the knight, and I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like this, yeah. And they should capture back with one of the pawns. But which one? I'm glad that I managed to pick up the pace a little bit. I'm still much lower on time, but I think I have enough. And with the queens off the board, I'm not in so much trouble as I maybe was before. Okay, so black captured towards the center. That makes a lot of sense. But now I would really, really like to trade off the rooks. The only problem is that my knight is not going to be very good on d2. So I'm thinking if I should be more patient and first play g4 to get my knight to g3 instead. I think it takes a little bit of time, but my knight will be happier there, I think. Or should I just play it now? I should play a little bit faster, that's for sure. Now let's play this. And then knight g3 next. Trading the rooks, okay. He goes here. Maybe it was a mistake what I played. Because now he will have the option of capturing on d2 if I play knight g3. Okay, so we're gonna okay, we're gonna play this. And now he will, of course, black will of course capture on d2 now. Yes. Threatening my knight. My knight does not have that many squares. Maybe it was a mistake putting it there. But I am going to put it here. And if they take with the bishop, I can at least take back with the pawn. And then next I'm gonna focus on activating my rook on d1. So I just lost one of the pawns. I was ahead, but I am still up one pawn. And my pawn structure is also quite good, if that counts for anything. Well, maybe it could be better, because if this pawn gets under attack, it's actually quite hard to defend. So maybe a rook here now would be a good move. Oh, but then I would of course capture down here. It's interesting. I think they should capture on h5, but let's see what they'll do. This is really going to be the knights versus the bishops. And I hope that the fact that the position is pretty closed, the pawns are blocking each other, that will make the knights, or the knight now, better than the bishop. I will take back, of course. This knight is a bit weak, but I'm hoping that I can, if the black rook tries to win it, that I can go behind this pawn and win that in return. Yep, that is what they're playing, and I'm gonna counterattack this pawn right here. They capture. I shouldn't be worried about a check in the back. I can just move my king. Okay, so like this. My rook is quite very good here in the 7th rank. Making sure that the king cannot get active. My knight is also nice in the center, of course. Black could trade it. Okay, check. And maybe a draw is going to happen because I can move my king back and forth and there will be checks. And if I try to escape, then they can win this pawn at the right time. And I don't think that I want to allow that to happen. Also, I am low on time. Let's go here and see if they give me a check. Yeah, they do. Okay, so I have a little bit of time. If I want to play for the win, I could try to get my king here, but then they will take this pawn. And once they capture this pawn, they will probably also win this pawn. I will be able to check here, but I'm not sure that it's going to win anything. Also, I am much lower on time, so I think I'm gonna go here. And yeah, I suspect this game will end very shortly. I go here, and I mean, there is a chance that black wants to play on because there's so much up on time. But looks like they will be happy with the draw. Okay, let's look at it one last time. If I go to d1, they capture this pawn. I can't really save this pawn, because even if I go here, they will go behind it and win it. I have some checks down here, but I don't see any of them leading to checkmate. Yeah, I'm gonna play like this, and I think a draw will happen. Now, yeah, this means that it's a draw. They played this move, and then, draw by repetition. So that was a very nice game. I look forward to seeing the game review. I have a feeling I must have been better at one point towards the end, but I don't think I should play on because I'm gonna lose these pawns. And maybe I was too careful. Maybe I'm better in the end, but I think combined with my time that was running very low, I'm happy with the result of a draw. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I mean, I look forward to play so many games on this beautiful board, and as I mentioned, there's a link in the description if you want your very own of these. And I was very happy you wanted to watch me play a little bit on this board. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.